So, Annabelle, where are we going?
Where are we going? To the hotel? I think.
No, we're going to an Indian wedding.
Yeah, so we're going to
Tell me, what exactly are we doing in Mumbai?
We are here for an Indian wedding.
Exactly. And what is an Indian wedding exactly? What are the traditions?
Well,
what is going on?
I'll tell you right now.
Okay, okay,
I'll tell
it's a
you once
spoiler.
you go in the traditions. You'll have to wait.
Yeah, everyone is wearing yellow, and then there's Annabelle wearing blue, Sana wearing yellow, and I white because I didn't have anything yellow. And that's a really good way of standing out. Yeah. Well, the dress code said yellow, wear yellow. Just really wear yellow. Let go. Sana is having the time of her life here.
Later.
Now we're going to a cocktail party, like a really fancy one. No, I want to see dress. I want a dress. Yes. Fancy Sana.
And fancy Giovanna.
Thank you. I'm wearing like a figure hugging dress. And that's all I have to say.
You can show your dress around.
Okay, let me. This is what it looks like.
This is how I look.
Yeah, I'm gonna wear heels.
Oh yeah. I think you should because I'm looking so tall.
Oh my god, yes, we have matching earrings. I'm just wearing like the gold version, so it's wearing silver. Fancy Indian wedding, so it's like 9 p.m. and I'm already dead. Oh, I have hennas in my hand. Look at this. Yes! Wait, Sana, it's not hennas. What's it called again? Mehendi? Yeah, okay, so they say Mehendi, I think. The first time I actually had them. It has these things on my fingertips, and I'm like, pshh.
A few moments later.
Look. Now show it now because the bride and the groom are gonna enter, and now like that's the entrance.
Oh, so this is dry ice.
So that looks like entry, like a Bollywood entry.
Wow, this is so iconic. Oh my god, oh my god.
I cannot record anything.
Oh, I understand it now. And then the groom's niece is now dancing all by herself in front of like a lot of people. They're playing games and like they're asking like which one of them, like the bride or the groom, like does something, like which one, like what movie the most, like likes to travel the most.
The next day.
Okay, so today is day 3, 2, I don't know, and we're going somewhere at some point. 3. There's like a lot of sound. This is like my outfit for today. Let's go. Sana changed her outfit last minute. Tell me how They're putting something on Sana's head. I think it's a water. At least that's what Sana told me.
and you put some water in it, and from the hotel they will go to the temple.
Oh.
Eventually.
Us getting ready. Look at Sana, looking pretty. Let me show you Annabelle. Annabelle, do you want to show yourself and how pretty you look? There you go, with all the sparkly outfit. Let me show you. And this is me. Can you see me?
And you can listen to the beat.
Yeah, I'm really excited to dance actually. Maybe not with like the high heel. Apparently there is like a horse. Right. There's a horse. I don't want to see the Oh my god, there's an actual horse. Can you see the horse? Let's go! Go. So this is the groom and he's riding a horse, which is such like an iconic thing to do in a wedding. God, it's money. Look at this. So Sana's daddy that they must have spent like $100,000 on this flight. Bro, give me that money.
Arrived yet, so there's like literally no one, only guests. Also, we'll see the grand entrance.
Okay, so the groom is being carried by like, yeah, his friends. I don't know if you can see, but that's cool. And we're having a dinner. I chose something a bit more Italian. Senna's like, she got a mix of stuff. Yeah. Annabelle was just like everything. Yeah. This is the bride. Let's get near the bride. Let's see. Oh, right. Look at her chest. What was going on? He's not letting her?
Yeah, that's like just like playing around and like, so I'm not gonna let you do that.
Yeah. And now we're going back. Look at the airport in Mumbai. I like this. I think it's pretty. But yeah, we're now going back. Heading back home to Hyderabad. It's so nice to do the rest home for the first time. Going to Hyderabad for the first time.
2 hours later.
I am back home. The apartment. Yay! I'll give at the rest hall at some point. But it feels good to be back. To have my own room, my own bathroom, and have the experience of being like, yes, I went to an Indian wedding. Okay, sorry, now I'm back. So this is a fake microphone. I just saw a video from a YouTuber using a microphone and mine is clearly not attached to anything. I just thought it would be cool if I had one. To be completely honest, I did not crash the Indian wedding. I was actually invited to the wedding. But you know how Indian weddings are. So basically it was my friend's dad's cousin's son, apparently, and he didn't know, and no one knew that we were gonna be there. So technically we did crash it, but it was very fun because I got in trouble to Mumbai. I was in Hyderabad. It was like 1 week after I arrived in India, so I had been living there for less than a week, literally. So I think everything was very, very new to me. But something happened that I did not like, and I would like to share my thoughts with everyone here. So I went with another friend and so my friend, the Indian one, Sanam, she invited me, just me, to the wedding because we're very close. She was my roommate for a year and she knew I've never been to an Indian wedding. Guess why I had never been to an Indian wedding? Because I'm not Indian. And then I wanted to go to an Indian wedding. The weddings are iconic, right? And so she invited me, and of course I said yes because I'm not dumb. But another friend, Annabelle, who was in the video, she also wanted to join, and she asked Sana if she could join, and she said yes, sure, like we can take 2 foreigners to the wedding. And they were like, okay, sure. But we're both different. Annabelle is from Switzerland / Germany / that girl's all over the place. I am Brazilian. I think I noticed from the moment I stepped into the airport with her, with Annabelle, because we went together from Hyderabad to Mumbai, was that they treated her differently. And it was so interesting because I would have my passport in hands and that would still make us different because we were not equal as foreigners. We were both foreigners in that country, but she was like a special kind of foreigner. And I felt really uncomfortable in the beginning, but I didn't really pay much attention because I had woken up at like 3 a.m. So I was very sleep deprived when we took that flight. But it continued to happen, you know. And then once we reached the hotel where Sana's family was, we were introduced to Sana's parents, and they were really nice to us. They were super cool. I love them. I actually spent a couple of days in their house after the semester ended. But everyone there just wanted to talk to this other friend. And they would ask her things like, where are you from and stuff, and she would say, hey, I am from this place, which is fine because she is from that place. And then they would ignore me, and I would be at a table because I didn't know anyone there, and I was genuinely scared because it was my first week in that country. I didn't even know how to socialize, how to address people. So we kind of stuck, we just stayed in a group, you know, Sana with her friends. I think that was the vibe. But I think you may notice even in the video how everyone was really invited this other friend to dance and stuff. And I remember this one specific moment when we were having breakfast. And then this little girl who was like 8 or something, she comes to us with her mother asking where we were from. And so they asked Annabelle first. She said, okay, I'm from this place. And they're just like, oh yes, that is so cool. It's my daughter's dream to go to this country and stuff. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. Me too. I want to go to Switzerland too. I've never been there. And then they were leaving, and then Sana comes like, oh, and then she and Giovanna is from Brazil. And then they were like, okay, sure, and then just went away. I felt really uncomfortable in that moment because for me, I think we had the same status as a foreigner there. Like, I have no idea about the traditions there. I have no idea about the food. In fact, I had not tried Indian food and that 1 week I was in India to begin with. Everything to me there was new, just like it was for Annabelle. But everyone was asking if she wanted to try this or if she wanted to try this type of dessert, and I was just there like, what is this again? Can I ask what it is? What is this? Is it spicy? Because I am not really good at spices. So I think it was very uncomfortable in that sense. In a way, I think I understand because she's clearly blonde with blue eyes, and that stands out from the crowd, right? It happened so many times, and then the same little girl asked again with her dad where she was from. They had literally the same conversation. And I was there and I was just like, what should I say? Because one, I was clearly uncomfortable. I think it was never a situation I have experienced before. I think I just stood there and I think the first thing that came to my mind was that this little girl was putting so much value into this country, this countries, where this friend was from, that I just kept thinking about she as a young girl from India. I don't think she would be as valued in that country as she would, as she thinks that at the same way that she values that country. So, to begin with, I think Indians need a lot of visas and stuff to travel to Europe, for example. I don't need one. I can go to Europe without a visa. And so, this tiny differences, and this happened throughout the semester. People would literally value all the time I went with friends that were looked more white, I guess, were like blonde and it stood out. Everywhere they would take pictures, and I think that was kind of weird to me. I think this was the first time I felt like I did not belong. And it was different from South Korea and Taiwan because they knew I was not from there. In Korea, they just didn't like foreigners as a whole, so they just kind of ignored me. And so the same treatment that they gave to other type of foreigners, they did it to me, kind of, I guess. But they knew more about Brazil, I think. I think a lot of people in Korea knew about soccer. In fact, I think there's an episode with a taxi driver, and we were talking. He asked where we were from, and in my limited Korean at the time, I understood, and we responded, and he was like, "Oh my god, yeah, soccer and stuff." And in Taiwan as well, I think people were very welcoming, and they were so excited that we traveled all the way from, the other side of the world. But in India, whenever I said where I came from, they were like, okay, sure. And I think few people recognized that. And in my mind, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe this is very controversial, but in my mind, in that episode with this little girl on the table, and her mother, maybe it's the education I have, maybe it's my interpretive lens, maybe it is my culture, but even if you don't like the country where that person came from or is from, you should still kind of show the same reaction. So if I were the little girl and I saw a foreigner, and which would never be kind of true because I was a very shy little girl. But anyways, so even if I was a little girl asking where that foreigner was from, there were two foreigners, one that I thought was cooler than the other, I would still be like, oh, that is so cool to both countries. Once they responded, even if I didn't care, because frankly, sometimes even I don't care when I say that. And I am particularly fond of very exotic countries, because I think that's very neat when someone says, I am from Malaysia. I'm like, oh really? How the hell did it come all the way to here? As opposed to the other white boring countries. I think I noticed this preference for like blue-eyed and blonde people. I thought it was very sad. Honestly, I know maybe this is a product of colonization, maybe it is a product of people valuing Europe more, but I thought it was so sad because, and maybe this is also some type of criticism, because at least I tried, I guess, to be involved with the culture during the party. I danced, and some people didn't. So, and I'm not really blaming this friend. I feel like she didn't notice. And I don't think she noticed. I think this is something I noticed, and this is something my friend Sana noticed. And I think Sana even apologized to me later because it is something that happened throughout the 3 days that I was in Mumbai. So it wasn't something, like, I think I remember I actually cried one day because it was in a point where I've never been that, I don't want to say mistreated, but it's something like, we don't want you there, kind of, or it's not that they didn't want me there, they just ignored me, I feel like. And because we were always like the three of us together, in my mind I was still kind of a foreigner, which that's true, right? So it felt really, really uncomfortable. I still don't like it. I cried. I even talked to Sana later, which wasn't really her fault. I think the people in the people that treated me like that, they were not really close to her, as opposed to her parents that treated me really nicely. I don't know. This is not something I liked, and I'm gonna talk more about this in my next videos on India and things that I didn't like. But spoiler alert, this is something that made me uncomfortable throughout the semester. This difference in treatment was insane to me and ridiculous, because spoiler alert, Europe doesn't care about you. Maybe my friends individually who live there, yes, but as a whole, I think we just should, like BRICS countries or countries that have been constantly overshadowed, I feel like, just stop. Just don't think that they're less than them. And I'm currently in the process of understanding my roots, and my grandparents and my great-grandparents were and are Europeans. So I could have said that I was Brazilian Italian or Portuguese or something, which sometimes I do. Sometimes I'm trying to claim that heritage for myself, and it's something that I've been uncovering in the past few months, and it's really important to me. But I still made a point of saying Brazil because that is my main country. That is the country I am most loyal to and most proud of. If I had said something else, they would still treat me differently just because of the place where that I was saying that I came from. So honestly, and to all the Indians and people from other countries like in Thailand that happen to, in Taiwan, not really, South Korea, not really, but, and these are the countries that I've been to, by the way. No, I cannot speak to all other countries, but I would like to kindly ask that we just revisit, you know, not revisit, I would like to kindly ask that you guys and we in Brazil as well, just try to value the people that are there and are curious to be in your country. I think we should start valuing ourselves more. And maybe this is just me with my anti-European movement. I am a political scientist, y'all, and I am personally very fond of the idea that the future is Asian or Eastern. I've lived there and I am simply in love with Asia as a whole. I would definitely love to live in Taiwan. I actually wanted to go there for the next semester, but I chose Buenos Aires. Yeah, I think we are going to revolutionize this world. Later on, maybe people may ask for my professional opinion about this. And then my grandma just interrupted me for a second. But yeah, I think kindly ask that we literally rethink who we value more. I think that's my overall message for this video. But to end this on a happy tone, I genuinely liked Indian weddings more than I thought I would, because I'm an introvert at heart, but I really like to dance. People thought that I was a good dancer, so I'm happy they thought so. Anyways, bye you guys.